I don't know where you go from here. Oh my God. I keep thinking about all it took to get here. Doubted myself. And then I realized no one was doubting me except for me.
Yeah. We are back with the series finale of Insecure. Family, you know what it is. It's your man VACAY-J. And if you're loving Insecure, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And yes, we're at the last episode. So that means if you missed any episode, definitely go back and check all my recaps so you can get all caught up as I go and break down this recap for episode 10. But definitely make sure you're all caught up on all the episodes and all my recaps before we get into this one right here. So now let's get into episode 10, the full episode recap and review. Now, before we get started, we definitely put a poll up on VACAY-JTV. And shout out to everybody who voted. And most of you said that Issa would pick neither. But the majority have said 31% Issa was going to pick Lawrence and 21% Nate. So let's see what happens. So last time we left off, looks like Nate and Lawrence, they had a dispute. Yeah, they had an argument because Lawrence was telling Issa how much he loved her at the party. And of course, Nate wasn't feeling that at all. He's not feeling the whole vibe, you know? Yes, we know Issa, she definitely still has feelings for him. And I think that Nate knows that, and he feels that as well. And it doesn't feel good to have someone in your life knowing that they still are kind of hanging on to the last love that they have, you know, really their long lost love. And he's letting Issa know that he's not really feeling what's going on right now. She wants him to come inside just so they can talk about it. But he doesn't really want to talk about it. And she realizes that too. She realizes that, you know what, it is what it is. And she's going to have to move forward. You know, not really a good feeling to have that going on when you love a person like that. But he knows, and I think both of them know, it's just not meant for them to be together. It's a hard pill to swallow, but this man is proclaiming his love to Issa right in front of him. And she feels bad about it, you know, she feels bad, but at the same time, she's trying to figure it out. You know, she wanted to move forward with Nate. You know, Lawrence is letting her know he's sorry. He messaged her that night. Sorry, that's not the way he wanted things to turn out. So she's trying to really figure it all out, but it's not a good place to be when the person that you are in love with and the person that you want to be in love with get in a conflict like that, you know. She just wants everything to fast forward when it gets better. I mean, she doesn't even take off her clothes. She just falls asleep right on the couch. And of course, having a great friend like Molly is definitely a good thing. And she's there for her. She's there for her just like Issa was there for her when her mom got sick. And you could tell, like, Issa's really going through it. She's so conflicted. But it looks like Nate already made his decision to kind of move forward. And she kind of walked away the same way Lawrence walked away from her when she said she thought about things. But Molly is like, listen, you know, got some stuff for you. Issa is like, let me just get showered up and dressed and kind of move forward. Of course, she has to have a conversation with herself in the mirror. And, you know, while she's down and out about the whole situation, crying and everything. Her inner self is just trying to cheer her up in a weird type of way. Kind of letting her know she kind of put herself in this position. And she's like, good luck with that, champ. You want things to get better? Good luck with that. Rewind the videotape like she's an announcer. She's playing an announcer. Definitely a great episode here. And she's really dealing with her inner feelings about the whole situation. She knows she loves Lawrence. And it's like, listen, you can't fight it. Like, you really can't fight it. And she's been fighting it. She's been trying to move on with Nate, but not really going too well. Yes, they do have their conflicts. So now we speed up. It looks like we speed up a couple of months because now it is Molly's birthday. And Issa is putting it all together. She's getting drinks and hors d'oeuvres for people. And of course, your boy Torian is there. Molly's mom is there. All their, associates are there as well. Talking about how Molly checks Torian. Tiffany shows up. Yeah, she flies in from Denver. Of course, that was their promise. Their promise was to get together whenever her birthday comes. And of course, Kelly, she's happy to see her best friend. They're like best friends. And yeah, she's asking how Denver is. And she's like, it's okay. Again, she's adapting. They're adapting. She's still not really feeling it. But Issa is trying to do the best that she can for her best friend, Molly, on her birthday. And it looks like Kelly got a man now. See, I've been waiting, when is Kelly going to get her own man? And she finally has a man. They waited to the last episode for Kelly to get a man. And yeah, they're trying to, Tiffany's trying to find out, okay, how did you guys meet? They just keep giggling and giggling. Nobody's explaining anything. And it's probably some crazy, freaky stuff, right? So Issa's like, let me go check on Molly. And Issa's like, listen, you got people out there waiting and you're not dressed. And Molly keeps changing. She's nervous. She really doesn't like celebrating herself, but she allowed Issa to do it for her. Because that's her friend. That's her best friend. So Issa's trying to look out. She's letting her know she's great. She's awesome. Don't worry about it. People are waiting for you. You're going to knock them out. It's going to be all good. Again, having a great friend like that is a beautiful thing. And while she finally comes out, the whole family's there with a cake celebrating her birthday. Of course, she's happy about it, Like, who wouldn't be happy to have your whole family there, celebrating you? Like, she doesn't celebrate herself. And she looks at her mom, which is definitely a moment here, capturing this moment to see her mom. And of course, her man, Torian, is right there holding the cake. It's a beautiful thing. Things are coming together, and Issa is happy about that she was a major part of putting that together. Then we shoot over probably another 4 or 5 months. We see Crenshaw got a new spot. Her assistant's like, yeah, water bursted. It may mess up all the materials in Crenshaw. But really, it was a setup for a surprise birthday party. And all her friends and family are there. So her sister, put it together for her. Again, her assistant put it together. Molly and all of them, they all came together to celebrate Issa. And yeah, it looks like people are putting their differences aside for the greater good, right? And Issa's surprised about that because her assistant's like, I thought you didn't get along with Molly. So yeah, she's cool. So again, putting differences aside for the greater good in this final season series finale. And that's a great thing. It's a great thing that they are putting their differences aside, moving forward for the greater good and for a greater cause. So she's like, yeah, Molly's cool. She's all right. She's all right. So Molly is just ready to turn up with Issa, the same way Issa turned up for Molly. Again, being there for each other is the key. And definitely with that good energy, they're going to make it happen. Kels, of course, comes through. She's looking good. She's looking happy. She got her man and everything. And yeah, Kel's looking like she's on top of the world. And everybody's showing love. Issa's brother's there. And it's a party going on. Of course, Kel's don't like her brother. They go back and forth with it. But it's all good. So yeah, they're having a great time, at the Crenshaw factory. And, looks like Issa now is on the prowl. And she's looking for, a new dude. And the ladies, of course, they're like rooting her on. Like, yeah, how about this dude? How about that dude? And it looks like Issa's trying to move forward with her life. She's in a better place. She's a little bit more confident now within herself. And looks like she sees a guy at the bar. And the other girls, they're looking. And she's like, yeah, what about this guy right here? And, of course, they're like, okay, we approve. They're like, you want us to go and warm him up? She's like, nah, I'm a grown woman. Let me go over there and talk to him. Yeah, so she talks to him, comes back, talks to the girls or whatever. And guess who shows up? Your boy Nate shows up to the party. And again, now, this was all like instead of giving money or whatever to Issa, they just did it as a fundraiser. The assistant said they got like 5 G's, like the cell phone. So Nate and Issa finally talk. She says that she was trying to call him. So looks like, he fell off. Nate fell off for a while. He kind of stayed away, knowing the situation for a while. And Issa tried to get in contact with him, but, the way that he found out was he's still following her on Instagram, following the block on Instagram. So that's how he knew about the fundraiser at the spot. So, they have a moment where they're talking about the whole situation. And he kind of apologizes about it. He said he was all in his feelings about it. He was upset about it. Of course he was upset. I'd be upset too. But it doesn't look like they're going to move forward at all. It looks like it's been months and they haven't spoken about anything. But it seems like he's trying to reconcile with her. And that's exactly what they do. They reconcile the differences that they had. And then they have a moment where they actually laugh. They actually laugh after they, kind of apologize to each other about the whole situation. I know a lot of y'all was rooting for Nate to be with Issa. And it looks like, they're cool now. But looks like it's just not going to work out for them. And that's all right, too. Sometimes, you'll be in a relationship and it's probably better that you guys remain friends as opposed to lovers, So, he walks off. But definitely it's a moment where she's okay. Now they have closure. She has closure. She can now move forward on with her life and talk to whoever she wants to talk to, even if it's Lawrence. But as of right now, Molly ain't trying to hear that. Molly's trying to introduce her to a new dude. And she's smiling and moving forward with it. She's leaning and rocking with it. But we know where her heart is at. So she'll entertain this for a little bit. She'll entertain it. She'll meet the guy. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with meeting the guy, exchanging numbers, hanging out or whatever. So now it looks like it's Tiffany's birthday. So now they go and visit her. They go visit Tiffany in Denver. And they're at the new house that Tiffany and Derek have with that whole promotion. And it looks like it's a real nice house. Like they definitely upgraded with the home ownership. They're out in Denver, so, they definitely can get more for their money. And yeah, Tiffany is still not feeling what's going on. She's still kind of like, this is not LA, but I'm going to stand by my husband and we're making the best of what we have. And the girls are out there and they're having some fun. They're definitely happy to see their girl, Tiffany, and, they're out there doing their thing. And that's what's important, that these friends stick to their word. They said this is what they were going to do. So Derek and Simone come out and they say, happy birthday. Looks like they made some cupcakes. And yeah, they're going to serve the girls some cupcakes, homemade cupcakes that they made. So it's a brand new life for Derek and Tiffany, and it's all good. Molly's inside. Why? Because Molly's doing some work. She's still an attorney. She's still a lawyer. So she still has some work to do. And of course, she's thinking about her family. She's thinking about everything. And she's in Denver, so she still has to handle her business. Of course, Issa comes in there. She's like, listen, I know you working and all of that, but it's wine time. It's time to get some wine time. She's just trying to get off the computer so she can really just have a good time and loosen up. That's what, again, they're reminding us what friends and family is all about. And she sees a picture, of course, of Lawrence and the guys with all the babies. Lawrence is holding his baby, and she sees in that picture. Of course, she's in her feelings about it a little bit, but it's all good. They're there with their girls. They're there with each other. Molly's asking if she's okay, because, again, it's been a while since she's spoken to Lawrence and a while since she's spoken to Nate as well. So Molly gets a phone call from her brother. And, of course, she's all the way out in Denver. And it sounds like he's screaming, yelling, and it's not too good, fam. Not good at all. Not good at all. Not good news. She says, what happens to mom? What happened to mom? That's what she says. Right? So now we shoot over. It's probably a couple months later, and we see that Lawrence's mama is singing happy birthday to her baby boy. Right? And she talk about it, Jesus' name. She's singing praise and happy birthday at the same time. Pops comes on the phone, says, all right, says a couple of words. I'm going to give you back to your mama. And, mama's definitely concerned for him and trying to still hook him up with a girl and all of that. And he's like, Mom, it's all good. And it's all good. So then we see on the top of the phone call, right, because he's FaceTiming, we see that on the top of that phone call, somebody is calling in. Who's calling in? Your girl, Issa D, is calling in while Lawrence is on FaceTime with his mom. And he's like, listen, I got to go, Ma. I got to go. I got a phone call coming in. Of course, he answers right away because he's still in love with Issa. We know that. You just answer the call right away. And they have a conversation. It's obvious that they spoke after, and that things are okay. Things are cool. And she's, just trying to find out what he's doing, just to wish him a happy birthday and everything else like that. And he's waiting to hear from her. He's waiting to hear back from her that she loves him. But she's kind of just on some like, yeah, I'm just calling you to kind of find out what's going on with you and wishing you a happy birthday. But he's waiting. He's really wanting to hear her say, I love you. I want to be with you. So he's hanging on the phone. They're answering their calls because, again, they still have love for each other. So she's kind of beating around the bush. And she's like, yeah, I want to find out what you're doing tonight and everything. Wanted to see if you wanted to go out so I can, take you out and get something to eat. So it's obvious that they've, had conversations before and they were kicking it. The time has passed. And yeah, they've been okay, but they haven't addressed the elephant in the room. So while she's asking him, what's he doing? Of course, he has plans. It's his birthday. Like, seriously, you're gonna ask the man what he's doing. And she's like, yeah, I'm just wanted to see if I can take you out to dinner. Right? So she's not with anybody. And he doesn't look too happy about it because he's like, that's the real reason why you want to call. He's like, he really wants to, they have to really come together and talk about how they feel about each other. And he's not really feeling it too much. He's not feeling the fact that she's just calling to wish him a happy birthday and go out to dinner or something. But he already has plans with a young lady, right? Already has plans with a young lady. So he's like, listen, maybe later on we could do a little something, but right now, I actually have some plans. She's really trying. It seems like she's really trying to connect with him. And they're still kind of disconnected based on that last incident that happened. But it's his birthday. And she's really giving it her all a little bit just to show that she cares. So he hears the doorbell. He's like, hey, I got to run. And he's still trying to talk to her, but she hangs up the phone on him. Again, she knows that they have to have that talk. All right. But they haven't had the talk yet. He goes to the door. Of course, like I said, she's a young lady. And it looks like, they're more than just friends here. So, while Issa's trying to figure it out, Lawrence, he's going to move on and he's going to do what he's doing. Then we see Issa now. Looks like it's a couple months later, somebody else's birthday, somebody else's celebration. And she's up in there with a dude. Issa got a new dude. She's introducing them, introducing them to the rest of the fam. And it looks like it's Kel's party, Kelly and her man. And looks like they're about to make an announcement. They say, yeah, we about to have another one enjoying our time together. So basically, to break it down, Kelly and her man are pregnant. It's like, what? What's going on? Right? So Issa and her man, they trying to have a good time. And Derek and Tiffany, they're there. And they're trying to find out how Issa met her boyfriend. So yeah, Kelly makes the announcement, saying that she loves this man, this dude, and it looks like they've been together for a while. But yeah, they're happy to announce that they are pregnant. And of course, Issa's happy for him, Issa's really excited for him. And of course, Tiffany, she's going off. She's like, oh my God, oh my God. That's her best friend. And they're going to have, a child. Now she gets to be an auntie, right? Tiffany gets to be an auntie now. Yeah, so this guy's face is funny. But yeah, Issa's excited for her friend. And they definitely celebrate her. It's a beautiful thing. They're about to have a baby together. And yeah, Issa's like celebrating with him. But you could tell like there's something going on with her. It's like she wants to be happy for him at the same time. I think she wants to have her own. She wants to have her own. But yeah, Kelly and her man, they're about to have a baby together. And Kelly couldn't be more happier that she has a man now and that she's getting it on a regular. And yeah, she's definitely getting it on a regular. She's like, I didn't want to have a baby, but I wanted to have a baby with this man right here. Right? And again, that makes Issa flash back to thinking about Lawrence. Everything is always going to remind her and bring her back to Lawrence. Bring her back to thinking about what if we did work out? He claimed his love for me. What if things were actually working out for me and him? So she's thinking real heavy on Lawrence. She really is. Now so they're back. Issa and her man, they're back. She's getting ready for bed. He's pretty excited. And, she was on the phone or whatever. And he's ready. He's definitely ready to move forward with her. And, Issa's kind of going through the motions at this point. I think she's going through the motions. She's not really feeling this dude. This is just another dude that she's kind of hooking up with. Of course, her mirror self is like, yeah, it's great to see everybody's making decisions and moving forward. And she's like, yeah, I guess, she's really, like, okay. And her inner self is like, yeah, we're making moves too, don't worry. But guess who calls on the phone? Lawrence calls on the phone. Perfect timing, right? She's like, I got to answer. And her inner self is like, don't answer that. Don't answer that. And she's like, why? She's like, because it may not work out. And then she's questioning herself, like, what do you mean it may not work out? What if it does work out? So he rings and rings and she lets it go to voicemail. But again, she's still in love with this man. But her inner self is like, what are you doing? It's not going to work out. Just forget about it. Just move forward. You got a man in the room ready to love on you, and you still messing around with this guy, Lawrence. So she's trying to talk sense into her own mind. But she feels the way she feels. And again, you just can't fight it. You just can't fight it, So she's like, you better not answer that phone. You better stop playing. I find it funny how, they're doing this last episode, and it's definitely everything that we've been building up to. Everything that's been built up to this point, it's definitely a great thing. So now Issa's moving forward. She didn't answer the phone. She didn't call back. She's moving forward, and she's talking to Molly, and Molly looks like she grew her hair out. It's probably, 3 or 4 months later now. Looks like Issa got a new spot, a new business spot for the block, and it's coming together. She's moving forward with her life. And definitely Molly is, really trying to talk to her and let her know that she has to move forward. She has to continue to move forward, regardless of what's going on. And, this is how life goes. They miss each other. They haven't seen each other because they've been very busy. But, they know that they're going to have to connect somehow, some way. They're really making time to really see each other and to hang out with each other again, and that right there is what friends do. Real friends, they want to stay connected. You want to stay connected to your real friends. And sometimes it's hard to do because, life gets in the way, business gets in the way, circumstances get in the way. But, you're just going to have to keep holding on. Now, again, it's probably 4 or 5 months later, Kelly shows up, and she is now working in the office with Molly, as Molly offered her, a new position that the partners were open for. So Kelly's like, hey, listen, time to get off the phone. We got things to do. Get this, that, and the third. And she's kind of like her assistant and kind of like, hey, we need to wrap this up. And, Issa's like, all right, y'all wrap it up. I'll get with y'all later. So they definitely have a great relationship. And it's a relationship that's hard to find. To have a friend like that, definitely through thick and thin, you guys are not going anywhere. They're going to keep it. They're going to keep that bond. And that's what it's all about, keeping that bond of friendship solid. Okay? So now it's probably the nighttime or whatever the case is. And guess who comes to Issa's door? It's your man, Lawrence. And so she's happy to see him. He's showing up at her office. He's like, oh, this is the new spot. Looks pretty good. He apologized for being late because of traffic. And she's like, nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. She's just really happy to see him. And so they get to talking, and she wants to give him a tour. So he's like, all right, I'll give you a tour. And It doesn't turn out to be a good tour because they didn't go but so far. So now they finally get a chance to have the talk about everything. And he wants to know, he wants to know, I said love you to you. Are you willing to say I love you back? I mean, it's important. It's important. It's the same situation she was in with Nate. And, she definitely loves him back. And she expresses that she loves him back in her own unique, insecure way. And, she's letting him know, hey, I'm willing to do and find out what could possibly happen. So she does it in her own little way, her own little cute, insecure way as to what she would like to happen, right? She would like to see, she said, I'm open to seeing where this can possibly go, right? Where this can possibly go. So, of course, Lawrence is just like, okay, I hear what you're saying. And of course, he's going to roll up on her because now she's wide open. And, it goes with the phrase that me and my partner say. It's like, what's understood doesn't have to be said. They've been waiting and yearning to be together. And now here they are. They are together. And to be honest with you guys, I'm excited about this. Like, I've always wanted Lawrence and Issa to be together. To be honest with you. Issa's been with some folks. Lawrence has been with some folks, but I've always wanted these two to get together. So when they did get together and explode on the screen, like definitely I was excited to see that. In fact, I was happy to see that. I made a bet with a good friend of mine. And he said, nah, they're not going to get back together. I said, I bet you they get back together. And they do. So now it's 1 year later, and that's a nice backdrop. And what do we see? We see a wedding ceremony going down. And now introducing, right, Torian and Molly. Yeah, they got married. Yeah, they got married. Wow, Molly got married to Torian. That's crazy, right? Yeah, I remember Molly. Molly was getting down in the past episodes and the past seasons, right? But now she finally found the man that's going to love her for who she is. Not just how she looks, but for who she is as a person. And he's definitely the right guy for her. Definitely the right guy for her. You got the girls there. They're looking on pretty. It's a beautiful wedding going on right there, they got that lawyer money, man. So, they're going to be out in the village. They're going to be out in Central. But they're going to be out somewhere with a real nice, amenities and all that good stuff, right? 5-star hotel, okay? So the girls are excited. They're happy. They definitely are like, hey, get it in, get it in. They start playing some music. And, of course, Molly gets it in. Torian's keeping up, though. Torian is keeping up. He's holding it down. That's why he's her husband. Holding it down. He sees how she get down together. But looks like it's a beautiful ceremony that happened. And now they're at the reception. And, yeah, she looks very, very happy. And that's all we wanted, right? We wanted Molly to kind of find herself. And by finding herself, she found the right guy for her. Instead of looking for love, she had to look inside herself to improve herself. And this is beautiful here. Her mom passed away, so, they had a special table for her mom. So now it's the daddy-daughter dance. You know how it goes at these wedding ceremonies. And, yeah, it's definitely a touching moment. She's wishing that, of course, her mom was there. But, of course, her dad is, blessing her with a dance. And everybody's looking on. It's definitely a cute moment, special moment, for, Molly and her dad to really just have that daddy-daughter dance. Tiffany's there as well. And, yeah, it gets pretty emotional here because, her mom pretty much passed away. So, she's holding it down. She's still good. and they're moving forward. It's time to move forward, time to move on. And this was definitely real special, real special that, Molly is getting everything that she deserves to get, like all the good things, because Molly's been a real good friend in many different ways to all of them, So, of course, Issa's looking on and she's having her moment as well. And guess who shows up? This is a year later. Lawrence shows up with something to drink, some adult beverage for him and for Issa. And he's asking her, are you okay? Is everything all good? And, Issa gets into her feelings and she's like, yeah, of course it's all good. I'm good. Are you good? They definitely are locking eyes. They've been together for quite some time. And looks like, hey, all it's going to do is just grow and grow and grow. So, yeah, Lawrence is ready to dance. So, they see everybody dancing, and it's time to really get down, cut a rug, and do what you got to do, right? But again, I'm happy that they're together. I'm happy that they finally have worked out their differences. And yeah, it's time to get on that dance floor. It's time to make it happen. Time for them to finally come together and just have a good time the way that they deserve. So many roadblocks, right? There was so many roadblocks that Lawrence and Issa faced. But in the end, he fought for her. He really, really fought for her heart. That's the part that a lot of people don't talk about. Like, he really shed himself in order to let her know that he couldn't live without her. Couldn't live without her. So now we see Issa, she's helping Molly take off a wedding gown, wedding dress. And yeah, again, they have that moment because these guys are best friends. And Molly's real grateful. She's grateful for Issa just being there through thick and thin, through everything. And Issa's like, listen, I'm always going to be here for you. I'm always going to be here for you. And Molly, again, is having her moment, and it's only right. Like, we're taking the time out to do this recap and really dive deep into this because these ladies have been through it all. And any ladies out there, definitely chime in, right? Definitely comment below. Like, how many times have you wanted to tell your girlfriend, hey, you've been there for me through thick and thin, but you haven't had that opportunity? And that's exactly what's going on with Molly and Issa right now. She's really just giving it up, giving her props and giving her, praises for just being a great friend. Just being a great friend. And definitely Issa definitely appreciates that. She appreciates all of that. It's finally coming down to, a lot of different things happening in life. But understand that they realize that it's all about that love and that friendship and that good energy, right? All that time they've been throwing back and forth bad energy or whatever the case is, they were just trying to figure out themselves in order to love each other, to be great friends. In the end, they are now great friends. So yes, that's what it's all about, right? So Issa is definitely proud, having a proud moment. And yeah, looks like she got the business up and running, right? Business is up and running. Things are moving. She's having meetings with her other folks who are definitely putting together this thing. And she's looking real confident with her power suit on. That's a power suit right there. She's wearing red. That shows a position of powder, right? Power. And she has her place now. The block. She has her own building now. I mean, that's the great thing. She's driving a car. It's a Lexus. She's driving a Lexus around town. She is absolutely in a good place. She's driving by the first place that her and Lawrence actually had an apartment in. She's looking at seeing how this guy's teaching, his daughter something. And she's driving by that first place in the first episode where her and Lawrence lived, right? And now she's driving around a couple of other spots. Definitely, I love California, right? I really, really do. Some beautiful, beautiful place, beautiful weather as well. And she's looking at the block. She's looking at pretty much where she grew up at. And definitely wasn't a bad place to be, you know. This young man right here, he's walking out of Rite Aid. So, she's looking at all the good stuff that she's leaving behind. And yes, it was time. It's time. So now we're at a house. And guess who walks in the house? Yeah, this is Issa and Lawrence's house. And now she's back home. She's like, well, I'm home. Okay. And it's a real nice place. Like, seriously. Like, they are making so much bread right now. It's ridiculous, right? So, yeah, Lawrence and Issa are together. And again, I'm happy for it. I'm all about that life. Absolutely. Right? And they have their son. They have their son. They got their own son now. Again, this is a year, maybe 2 years later. And now they have their own son. And that's what it's all about. They have a family structure now. And this is exactly what Issa wanted from the beginning. A son, a husband, and they just lived happily ever after, right? Everybody wants that happily ever after. And yeah, the kid is cute, definitely. He's like, yeah, I'm going to cut the cake and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And yeah, he's a little kid. So, Lawrence is definitely being there to guide him as a good father, as a good man. And yeah, they're finally together as a couple, which I'm excited about. I'm very excited about what's going on, So, yeah, they're looking for something to cut the cake with and to celebrate Issa's birthday, right? So they're about to go out. So, of course, you got to put the lip gloss on. She got to get it right, keep it tight. She's doing her thing. And about to step out, Lawrence is like, yeah, the lift is going to be here soon. So, they're going to celebrate and turn up a little bit, So that's why they get in the Uber. But she's looking at herself. It looks like Issa has finally found herself. Molly gives her a call, right? So, of course, that's her best friend. She's going to answer that phone. And she's answering the phone. And yeah, your girl Molly, boy, she is out in some place. She's out in Greece with her husband. They must be on a honeymoon, the whole nine. But she's out there in Greece. Yeah, big time now, right? She's like, okay, I see you. Was you able to see anything else? You just sent me a picture of the sky. Can you send me something else? And and Molly's like, man, I don't want to go on vacation with this guy. And Torian, like, he won't leave my side. So they're making jokes and everything, but it's a beautiful backdrop of Greece, man. They are living it up. And yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful backdrop. So yeah, it's just showing how close friends are sticking together, thick as thieves. They just are not going anywhere. They're going to continue to flourish and continue to support each other in whatever time that they need to be supported. But yeah, beautiful skies, beautiful countryside. And she's like, hey, listen, I'm going to be coming home. I'm going to be coming home soon. So they get to talking and everything, and it's a beautiful thing. Life goes on. Everybody's in a good place. And that is the end of episode 10, the full episode recap of Insecure. Definitely go ahead and jot down below in the comment box. Give me your comments. Did you love this episode, this final episode, this series finale, right? Did you love it? What did you love best about it? What did you like worst about it? Definitely let me know by definitely putting stuff in your comment box. If you're new again and you're loving Insecure, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and your notifications so you get everything, because I do videos like this all the time as far as recaps and everything. So don't want you to miss it. I appreciate your love and support. And again, you know what it is. It's your man, VACAY-J. I'm out. Until next time, salute.